Kia ora, and welcome everyone to the HeartSpace podcast with my beautiful founder and co-host Jasmine and myself, Alicia. This is a bit of an impromptu episode that we're doing today because there's quite a few things going on, and we're wanting to talk about the here and now. So going to just touch on sort of what's happened and where we're both at in our journey so far. How are you doing today, Jazz?
I am doing really good, sis, and I'm glad that we get to unpack how we're feeling at the moment, because I think there's been like this huge shift in energy over like the last couple of days, and people, are feeling exuberated because, it's just been announced to the public that the Queen has passed. Us in the truther community, we believe that she passed, about a year and a half ago.
Even longer.
Possibly. Even longer. Yeah. And so we just want to unpack our response to it, how others have responded to it, because it has been interesting, to say the least, of what I've seen on the social media platforms.
Yeah, it has. My newsfeed's flooded with yay, the Queen's dead. And then half of the other people are saying have respect for the Queen. Oh, and then we've got a little bit there, we'll touch on like the whole fact that she's a lizard lady. Honestly. But yeah, it is like the truther community have like pounced on this one, and I think it's something that we have been waiting for such a long time. My guru has been saying for over a year now that she's gone, but what we're seeing is theatrics at the moment, because apparently, and what I have noticed myself is that the world loved her. The people actually genuinely were warm, they had warmth towards the Queen. And I think that if they were to announce like when she actually did pass years ago, there would have been a huge outcry and uproar. So what they've done over the last year or so, they have actually just they've warmed us into the fact that she could be on her last days. And like as we have seen in the media, like that she wasn't well, and she was looking quite frail and all that kind of stuff. So I think the general public they were sort of waiting for it, because she had been on her last days according to what the media were telling us. But there is a lot of people in mourning. And I think she's been a huge part. What she was reigning for about 70 years, probably.
Yeah, it was.
So quite a long time.
Significant
so if you think
amount.
about it, the Queen's everywhere. She's on our currency. Like she's here to stay. So it's.
It definitely had to be played out in this mannerism, because if you come to learn what we have over the past couple of years, like, we know about the monarchy and the corruption behind the royal families, not just this one in particular, but the royal families around the world and what they're involved in, that being child trafficking, money laundering, starting wars, funding wars, you name it. And I think a lot of people that haven't gone down the rabbit hole and learnt these truths and still, love the Queen, like you were saying, and have that respect, I guess. My respect for the Queen went out the window a long time ago when I woke up to the truth. So I'm very desensitized to a lot of things, and I may come across as very arrogant and rude with my approach towards her death. But like I said, everyone is entitled to their feelings and their opinions. We all are at different states of consciousness, I guess, when it comes to knowing the truth behind the royal family. So I do want to acknowledge that I respect those who genuinely care and are grieving through this process. But in saying that, don't push your shit on me. Like, doesn't mean you're going to see me crying over here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can relate to that. Like, I think what it is for me is that now the games begin. Now shit gets real, because they've been waiting for the Queen to, like,
and the bridge is falling. Yes.
Yeah, to push in through for the agenda. It's hard to say which way this is going, but now we had King Charles, which he did say that he wouldn't actually step into that position, but he clearly has. And he is very connected and tied into the WEF. He's always been, even though the royals are not meant to be seen to have political agendas or political opinions and all that kind of stuff, they're not really meant to come across that way. Charles has always been in that arena, and he's connected to the WEF. Which is a great concern, really, because we know that the World Economic Forum, connected with the United Nations agenda, like it's all a part of it with Klaus Schwab, whatever his name is.
Yeah, you got it.
So there's now I think is where the true games begin. This is where we really have to start paying attention, and we can't get so stuck on the distractions, I suppose.
And that's one thing I'd like to just put out there. And I think a lot of people already know in the truther community is, we've got the death of the Queen going on. It's going to be played out for some time on the mainstream media. It's up to, I guess it's not up to us, but, we need to be vigilant and see what they're trying to, they're distracting us over here with the death. What are they doing in the background? So I feel like we really need to be vigilant at this time, because we know how they try to distract us with one thing while they, sneak something through the back door.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is what potentially her death could be at this stage.
Can I just intervene there? So apparently, now I need to back this up. So I need to go check it out. But apparently what's happened over this time, so we are on September 11th today.
That's right.
And this weekend, files, documents were meant to be declassified about what really went on for 2011.
Crazy.
That whole conspiracy that we're on with the whole 2011 Twin Towers. So apparently some documents are meant to be released, the truth. So that's interesting. And also in England, they have actually stopped the vaccine for children 11 and under.
Interesting. Yes, someone tagged me in like an article about that last night. So that is that can be backed up. I'm not sure about the September 11th thing, but it would not surprise me at all.
Yeah, so I don't have the documents to actually go, hey, look, this is what's happening. But my guru is all over that one. So
cool.
Yeah. So just talking about distractions and what we're being told, and what's going on in the background, what the media aren't reporting and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm like you, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I personally felt numb. I've got no feeling, there's no empathy there. And I think it's because one, waking up to the royal family, because it wasn't just Queen Elizabeth. It goes way back. So people, I think, are forgetting and sort of just targeting the Queen when actually it goes back to Queen Victoria.
It's that whole
and even before that. And people need to start remembering that it's in the royal bloodline, like Prince Philip. I think it's Prince Philip. Yes, they all are pedos and they all are involved with all that kind of stuff. It wasn't just the Queen. So we just need to be a bit more stop being so tunnel visioned and just
100%.
But I'm interested to see where this is going to go. The Bank of England have spoken about not actually reprinting money. Because there's no value to the dollar anyway. This comes down to the whole Great Reset, and this is a really great way to bring us into digital, which us conspiracy theorists have been trying to tell people back a long time ago.
Everything we've been saying is coming to fruition. What I've noticed within the truther community recently, I didn't personally express hatred towards the Queen. I pretty much just said, people wouldn't say rest in peace if they knew, what her and her family were involved in. But there have been people expressing that they are completely exuberated by her death. And then we've got people in our I guess, soul tribe freedom movement that are kind of policing these comments and telling people, you know, you're just as evil as they are if you make comments like that. And I think we're at a very sensitive stage, where people just need to stay in their lane and allow people to express. Because, you know, our girl Tashi, she commented and she said, you know, people should be allowed to express how they're feeling at this time. And you know, she understands that a lot of people are within this like whole love and light movement, but part of love and light and getting to that phase is expressing the hurt or expressing your anger. You can't let that stay in you, you know. And if you don't like some people's comments, it's as easy as scrolling on or unfollowing them. Simple as that. But don't go policing people's, you know, feelings.
Yeah, I have to admit, on the other day when the Queen was announced dead, like I saw somebody's post on my newsfeed, and they're awake and everything, but then they were like saying, and it triggered me. It triggered me, and I can openly admit that triggered me because it said that you know, she was loved by God and have some respect. She's still a human. Blah 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 blah. And I was like, what? But this was like the initial, like, this emotional reaction was like, what? And I was like, no, I won't have respect, sorry, because I personally do not support pedophilia. I don't support, like, we saw footage of a child trying to escape out of the Buckingham Palace. Like, why is no one talking about that? And then also Camp Loops, where the children went off for a picnic with the Queen and never returned. Like, and then I was like, have people forgotten? And then like somebody had commented back and said, oh, what utter nonsense and rubbish. And I was like, no, blah, blah, blah. But then I realized what I was doing. I stopped and I was like, actually rewind here. I'm engaging with people that may truly not see it, may truly not believe it. And I just realized I resorted back to old Leisha that was always arguing with people in comment sections, trying to wake people up. And I realized if people see it, they see it. If they don't, they don't. It's okay. And if people want to still hold that respect for the Queen and whatever, despite the fact that they know what she and the royal family are about, then so be it. It's their journey. It's their path. So I had to stop and think about what I was doing. And I realized I was like, pull back. It's not my place. It's not my place.
So much
like,
power in that.
Yeah.
Being able to observe what you're doing and reflect and kind of step back and be like, okay, I'm not going to engage in this anymore. So kudos to you.
Oh, thank you. But it
gets like that though, eh? It gets like that. And it's such an emotional time for everyone. And I just feel like we should just respect one another. And it's that good old saying, each to their own at this time.
And that's why, because someone came back to me and said, oh, well, if you want to carry that hate in your heart, blah, blah, blah. And I did come back and say, I don't have hate in my heart. It just is what it is. Like, it is what it is. Like, people have this emotion and feeling towards the Queen passing. I personally don't. It's the empathy's gone.
Like nothing,
I went through all of this back in 2020 when I found all this stuff out. So, like, I mourned all this. I went through that grief. I went through that pain. I went through that anger. And so now I'm sort of in a place of just, it is what it is. It just is. And we've been waiting for this for fucking years. So.
It feels like a small feat for us in the truther communities, having something this big happen. It's weird because just the night before, on the 8th of September, I was watching a podcaster that I love from the beginning. His name is Nicholas Benyamin, and he had a guest on. This is a regular guest that he has on, I think, every fortnight. And his guest was stating, be prepared, the Queen is going to pass away soon. They're going to announce her death, I should say, because we all know that this is just a movie that's playing out to get everyone else up to speed, the sleepers. And so, we hear a lot of dates in this whole truther community, so I just took it with a grain of salt. I was like, oh yeah, like if it happens, it happens. And then it happened the next day. I woke up and my newsfeed was buzzing, you know, with everyone sending their condolences, posting their condolences. So I was like, wow, this was actually something that came into fruition and was announced prior. And I think it was announced in all the crypto rounds, because my husband follows all the crypto community, and it goes hand in hand with the awakening, what they talk about. And a lot of the people that are investing in cryptos are awake to everything, like the child trafficking, the adrenochrome, corruption in government, you name it. So he's been hearing about it, and you know, I was just like, wow, like is something going to happen? Like, I don't want to get too excited, you know, like I think is there going to be another death that comes into play? Because I've heard that Joe Biden could be the next to go, but who knows?
Yeah, that's next in the wing. Yeah, it's really like, I remember back in 2020, I just like be like, oh yes, this date, and then when it wouldn't happen on that date, I'm like, oh,
yeah, it's disheartening.
But yeah, it is a little bit. But the thing is, like, it's all happening. It's all happening. People can say we're a conspiracy theorist, whatever, tinfoil hat, blah 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 blah, crazy ladies. But you know, I've been. I guess if I could take myself back or tell my 2020 self, don't worry, because it's all going to start playing out, and your work is going to pay off.
Yeah.
You're going to see it start crashing and falling. Well, we're here, and not just in regards to the Queen, but we're seeing that just in general. Like, everything's crumbling. It's crumbling.
And this is
so,
yeah,
but as I said, now the real work begins. Where we've got to really step up, pay attention, don't get distracted by the small things. And wanted to touch on like where we're at on our personal spiritual or awakening journey. Where would you say you're at now?
I feel like I'm in a place of peace at the moment. Like, I know what I'm meant to be doing, like what my sole purpose is. And if you asked me that question 4 years ago, I didn't know who the hell I was or what I was meant to do. You know, I was in and out of jobs, nothing really sat with me. And so to be able to be doing this podcast and speaking my truth, it's just like the ultimate outlet. But also I feel like I'm doing something important for humanity, because that's ultimately why we started this podcast, to educate people and bring them up to speed, because when they do wake up, they're going to have this safe space to come to and start to like unpack and learn through our videos, hopefully. So how are you feeling at this point in time with your current journey?
I'm feeling good. A lot's changed. My focus has changed. My priorities have changed. I'm really, really in a space of like understanding that, you know, when it comes to that ascension, what we're trying to do here on this earth plane, we really have to go within and do the work. And so I'm in this real, so I've got my dog here. I'm in this space of really doing that inner work, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty. Half of it's ugly as, and it's like really getting uncomfortable with yourself to get comfortable with yourself. And the more that I learn about myself, the more confident I am in doing what I'm doing. So like doing the podcast with you and just speaking out, and just, you know, I just want to radiate that, without sounding like a dick, I want to radiate that light and to help other people on their journey. So yeah, and I know what my purpose is and why I'm here. So yeah, I'm in that place too.
By finding your own inner light too, you give permission for others to do the same, and hopefully inspire others along with your journey. So that's great. And we've done like a complete like 180 with this podcast. We've grown, we've become more confident, I guess, with the whole you know, process of it. And I'm just super proud of us. Like, honestly,
I'm proud of us too.
We say it all the time, but you know, it's just so like exuberating to live your truth, to be your authentic self, to be able to express yourself on a platform every week, you know, and with people that are like-minded too. So
100%. 100%. I'm proud of us. And just in case you guys don't know, we've got an Instagram page up and running now, which I'm working through the content, trying to get it out there. So if you've got an Instagram account and you want to follow us, jump onto Instagram and follow the HeartSpace podcast. Before we wrap it up, though, I've got these amazing cards, and they're questions, and they prompt you to really think. So we don't have to answer it, but I was wanting to offer the audience that watching this, we've got a card here, and I think it's a really important question. What do you aspire to? And we don't have to answer it, but it's just something for you to think about once you've finished watching this episode, and think about what you aspire to.
Yeah,
what makes
let
you
us
tick?
know in the comments too. Would love to hear your guys' answers.
Yeah. Awesome. So I think that pretty much sums it up. Just a quick recap, and just I love having these little one-on-ones with you. It's really nice to just check in with each other and do these little episodes. So if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, and share, like the comment, and share it with anyone that you feel that this content would resonate with. Much love.
Much love, guys. Ka kite.